I'm definitely in tune with the youth. And at that point, my oldest son, DJ Los, he was maybe 14, 15. And
Yeah.
so when I decided to do this label thing, I came and, I came back off the road and I seen him messing around with a turntable that might have been from Kmart's or something like that. And he was scratching on it. I said, you interested in that? And he said, yeah, Dad. I said, well, I'll tell you what, come and go with me. So we got in the car, and I took him to Wonderland Music out in Dearborn on Michigan and Schaefer, because Clarence and Larry, the owners of the store, are good friends of mine. So I took him in, and I knew all the right turntables and mixers that the hip hop community was using in New York. So when I took him in the store, I told him I wanted a 1200 Technique turntable. I said, give me the Staten cartridges, give me the Newmark mixer, which was the model at that time. I can't remember the name of the model at that time. And I bought him a PV amp, so we can plug into it and everything. And so I bought all this gear for him that day. I didn't need anything. I have all my instruments. I bought all gear for Los that day, and said, here's your stuff. And I bought him the top of the line stuff because I told him then, I said, if you ever going to be great, buy the best equipment because it's going to help you. Those are your tools. You don't want to buy inferior drums or anything. And same thing with turntables and stuff like that. You buy the top of the line, then that way you're learning on the best equipment possible. So to this day, Los got so much new stuff. I'm like, I'm trying to say, wow, okay, I see where they didn't change this to this to that.
Yeah.
But he went home, he woodshedded, and there it is. And then I started my label, and I said, you know what? The first person I'm gonna put on my label is Los. I mean, it's like I wouldn't have thought of anything else but to put Los on the label, because once I've seen him develop his technique and his rhythm, I said he's unique, and we got him a rapping partner. Put them together, and that was the first album on World One Records, Easy being DJ Los, the Untouchable album.
Yeah.
I produced the album. I did all the music. I played almost all the instruments on the album, and I mixed it, and I brought in some heavyweights like Maceo is on a song, playing sax solo on You're My Destiny. I got let me see who else on it. I think my buddy Dave McMurray, who plays sax with Kid Rock and different people. I have all these connections of people from over the years of working. And so the album, and I think the only thing that we didn't do right with that album is I'm so radio orientated that we didn't want them to curse on the album. We didn't want them to be totally street, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't their decision. That was the
Your
label decision. It was basically my decision because I'm radio orientated, I'm looking at like
You want
working
to
with
give a DJ any song to play.
I want them to get here. You know what I'm saying? And that was my decision and not theirs. They be like, oh, Dad, everybody doing they cursing all that. When their album came out, it came out with NWA's first album, with Eazy's album. Okay? And our album and Eazy's album was blowing out of the one stops like crazy, and but I didn't let them curse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes I think maybe I should have did this another way, but with the staying power of the label that I created this 30 years ago, and it's still talked about today, I think we did the right thing. You know.
Yeah, to this day, it's to find one of those records, it's worth a lot.
Oh yeah.
I gave my friend Sterling my copy of Untouchable that I had.
Oh yeah.
Still, and it just means a whole lot when I think about that album and Awesome Dre and the Hardcore Committee.
Right.
I look at those albums as like they're the prototype of what we want to do.
Oh,
but you also
sure.
made the other anchor in that with Chaos and Maestro.
Right.
From a whole different lens.
Oh yeah.
Of consciousness.
Yes.
And what led to you picking this talent, and how did you have that discernment? And I know people were looking at you just because in hip hop, it's like if you're above the age of 22, people look at you like you old. So I know they were like, man, what you know about rap? You know, I'm just only imagining that's
well, see, you know, like I said, it came from me being out there, traveling and working and seeing the movement getting started, you know what I mean? And basically out of New York, I said, this is the next big thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we were right on it, you know. And see, Chaos and Maestro were one of my partners with the label, with the management company, SDM Management, John Maxey. He's responsible for bringing me Chaos and Maestro. You know, we would all have these sit-down meetings, myself and Gene David, which is my partner with World One Records, and then the SDM management was John Maxey, and he would bring us, you know, we would all sit down and say, well, we found this, and we found them, and we found them, you know, and he brought us Chaos and Maestro, and we sat down and we listened, and we said, you know what? Yeah, we got us our public enemy now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how they came into the fold. Then we got Dice, you know, and Dice was raw. And my partner Gene is like, you know, we all come from the streets, from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So we have respect for that because that's how we came up. Even though my oldest son right now, Los, doesn't probably know all the things that I did when I was a kid. You know, all he knows is father now. Yes. You know, and Gene got Dice. He said, I found this kid, man. You know, he's kind of, you know, he real raw. You know, sort of like the what did he say? He said he was sort of like the strip club. I said, let's get him. We got Dice. So we put them all together. Then we got Ebony.
Yes.
Ebony was conscious on the woman tip. You know what I'm saying? And she was very profound with that.
I mean, even to this day.
Yeah.
With her work.
Yeah. And then she said, you know what? She said, Mr. Small, I really want my album. I want live music on my album. I said, okay, we're going to do that. So I started producing Ebony's album, and we had background singers, and I had, you know, people that I had did stuff with Was Not Was, like Carol Hall, that had this raw voice, like the Weather Girls and shit. I put her on there singing hooks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we all were in tune with music, and we were trying to, we went national. I set up distribution all over the country.